YouTube, how you doing? Raj from the UK here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of an EdT from the house of YSL, and it's M7 Oud Absolu. This is the Heritage Edition. Basically, some of the YSL fragrances have been repackaged. This one I think has been, from what I've read, has been updated from the original M7, which has been discontinued, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to smell it, so I can't make any comparisons. I can only give you my views on this fragrance. This is the box. I like the kind of like squares all around it. It's a nice touch, nice little design element to it. And this is a 2.7 fluid ounces bottle, 80 ml, and on the top you've got the YSL logo there. Not sure how clear it is to pick up, but yeah. The main sort of part of the packaging really is the bottle. This is a standout bottle for me, a really great design. If you're looking at it in terms of shape, it looks exceptional. It kind of reminds me a bit of a fragrance bottle designed by the house of Brecourt, Paris, except this top is a little bit more central in that one. This is at an angle. And you've got, yeah, kind of M7 Oud Absolu Yves Saint Laurent. Plain side here, plain here, and this is sort of plasticky, so I don't think that's a bad thing, but it feels slightly cheap, but it doesn't look cheap. I know that's kind of contrasting thoughts there, but yeah, I mean the bottle is amazing, and what I love here is that it doesn't go all the way down the side. It kind of stops at this point, and you can see. Hopefully you can pick it up. It's the kind of ambery juice in here. Really great. What's also quite cool about this is that along the side here you've got some of the notes listed in the fragrance. It's all in French, but it's not too difficult to decipher. It's got Mandarin, oud wood, patchouli, cistus, and myrrh. I kind of know what all these notes are, but cistus I wasn't too... I'd heard of it, but I didn't really know what it was. And according to Wikipedia, cistus is the plant, and what I think really is in this fragrance, and what they're referring to, is labdanum. Labdanum is the resin which coats the cistus plant, or the leaf of the cistus plant, and the labdanum resin is what they use. So, really strong packaging, really 10 out of 10 for me in terms of packaging. Can't go wrong with this, really good. In terms of what I pick up, the fragrance starts off incredibly well. Intense, long-lasting, quite powerful, projects a lot, and what you're getting is Mandarin and patchouli. For me anyway, that's what I get. And what's interesting about this fragrance is that in a lot of fragrances which I've come across which have a citrus opening, the citrus never really lasts for a huge amount of time. It's always overtaken or overpowered by another note. In this one, somehow the Mandarin really holds its own against the patchouli, which is pretty impressive, because to me patchouli is one of the most intense notes I've ever smelt. Recently I've tried EdT. They have a patchouli fragrance, and I can't be 100% sure of the name. I think it's Duro by Nasamato. I think that one has a heavy dose of patchouli in there, and it's really intense, very much in your face, but somehow the patchouli doesn't dominate the Mandarin. The Mandarin is, I mean, I can still smell it, and I've had this on for quite a while now. It's great. It's like sort of like a mandarin has, I think mandarins are grown on trees, and I'm going to presume they're grown on trees, and it's sort of fallen from the tree. It's sort of on the ground, maybe covered in a bit of soil, a few leaves, and it's maybe rained a bit, and you get this sort of dirty, orangey scent. I think that's maybe the best way of describing it. Potentially this might not be for everyone. I can see people being put off by this scent, but you know, I'd say give it a chance, because after a while what I get is a really smooth, woody scent, potentially from the oud, but oud for me isn't the loudest. It's not the most dominating scent in the mid. Really what I get is this labdanum. Labdanum for me is just one of my most my favourite ingredients. I've really learnt to appreciate it. I think labdanum, I think it's labdanum 18 from Le Labo is one of my favourite scents, and it's kind of like a powdery vibe, baby powder, slightly musky, quite fruity in some ways, which is a little bit odd because I don't know if that's coming from the Labdanum, to be honest, because I do get a fruitiness and I get a sort of slight chocolatiness to it as well. And I'm not talking about like your milk chocolate, like you know, I'm talking about dark chocolate here. I'm a big fan of dark chocolate, and this could be like some cocoa bean from South America or something. I can't be 100% sure that there is chocolate in here, because I haven't read anybody talk about that, or haven't read any reviews or comments that there is a sort of dark chocolate vibe in here, but I definitely get it. It kind of reminds me of Cocorico by Jean-Paul Gaultier, which is an okay fragrance. It's not one of my favourites, but I can see slight similarities to it to an extent. As the sort of fragrance starts to die down, you're just left with this kind of chocolatey vibe, slightly woody, slightly musky and slightly powdery, but don't think, because some fragrances like which contain iris can be very powdery. This is not like that at all. This is quite sort of more of a sensual scent. It lasts all day. It does become a little bit quieter towards the end, but the initial few hours are loud, and you're going to be smelled. People are going to smell you. I think this is a great fragrance. I don't know how widely available this is. It's definitely available in the UK in some department stores. You can get it off the YSL website, which I think is like something like yslbeautyusa.com or whatever. And I'm sure there must be other places in the US, but I just haven't seen them online. So maybe shop around, or eBay is always a good option. I don't have a huge amount more to say on this. I get sort of, actually one thing which I've made a note of here, which I get towards the middle, is a sort of, you know when you have a candle and you blow it out and you're left with this smoke in the air? There's something like that in here, and I don't know where it's coming from. I really can't say that. Maybe it's the patchouli, I don't know, but it does smell to me like you've just blown out a candle, and that sort of intense smoke which you first get kind of filling the air kind of is in here a little bit. Maybe slightly incensey actually, to be honest, now that I'm sort of got it up close, but I think you would only get that if you do smell it close up. So that's kind of my thoughts on this fragrance. I think it's really good. I'm going to give this an 8.5 rating. I think this is a fragrance which you will love or you'll potentially hate, but I think ultimately, I think most people will probably like this, or they will think this is a fragrance I appreciate but won't necessarily buy. I think there are a lot of fragrances which I try which I think there's quality in this fragrance, but it's just not for me. But regardless, you know, I think it's worth checking out, trying to get your nose onto it. Yeah, a really good fragrance. It's a shame that I haven't tried the original M7, it's been discontinued, but I'm going to try and get my hands on that somehow. So thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next time.